For the next couple of weeks, we're going to talk about DiSC. And what DiSC is, it's a measuring tool of our personalities. It's how we look at things, how we react to things. It influences every part of our life. It influences our leadership, our communication, our relationships. Anything that has to do with communicating with other people is what the DiSC is. And so what we're going to do for the next couple of weeks is we're going to talk about what each individual personality style is. We're going to talk about the characteristics. We're going to talk about their strengths, what they bring to a team. We're going to talk about a couple of the weaknesses and what they can do to overcome those weaknesses. So it should be a pretty fun couple of weeks talking about why we act the way that we do and why others do as well. The first one we're going to want to talk about is the D, which stands for dominance. And some of the words that would describe a dominant behavior, a dominant personality, is very direct, they're very clear, they're very confident in the way that they act in front of a group. They're going to be very outspoken. They're actually going to speak their mind. They bring a lot of focus to a group. They're able to keep them on track. And one of the things that really describes them very, very clearly is they're to the point. There's not a lot of extra discussion going on. There's not a lot of extra things going on. They are laser to the point. That makes them very direct in their approach and how they behave, but also direct in the way that they communicate as well. They look at the big picture. They don't look at they don't get marred in the minutia. And the one thing that they're very good at and what they bring to a team is they're very decisive. What I mean by decisive is they don't need a lot of information to make a decision. So that's where we need other people to help them with some of that information, but they don't mind and they're not afraid to make that decision. Now the I stands for influencing. Influencing personalities are ones that are very inspiring. They're very talkative. They're very enthusiastic. The cup is always half full with the high eyes. They're very expressive in the way that they communicate. They always love to make sure that everybody feels part of it. They are very talkative, very conversationalist. They seem and they have the tendency sometimes to be a little bit impulsive, a little bit spontaneous. They definitely don't like to do the same thing over and over again. They don't like to be marred in the minutia. They're very comfortable in expressing their emotions. They think out loud. They don't actually think about things internalized before they share it. They actually come out and talk it through. And they are great facilitators from that standpoint that they feel like if everybody contributes, gives their 2 cents, it's going to come to a great conclusion. So they're a very, very valuable part of a team. Now the next personality is the S. Now the S stands for steadiness. We love S. We love them because they are great listeners. They're great team players. They're so supportive. They are very steady and predictable. We know what they're going to do. They love the doing something over and over again, knowing that they're going to get the same results. They're very understanding. Their friendliness is just very contagious. They don't have a crossword to share with anybody. The one thing they have very, very good is common sense. They have that ability to look at something and realize whether that makes sense or doesn't make sense. Now they're a little possessive, only because they know the right thing to do. They've practiced it enough times that they feel comfortable and confident with it. So the S's are great team players. They're probably the best team players to make sure everybody's getting along and feels like they're contributing. The next personality we want to talk about is the C, which stands for conscientious. Other words that would be used to describe this personality type are compliant and correct. They want to make sure what they do is right. They're very accurate by nature and very analytical. We all know that person in the office that if we want to know the right way to do something, if we want to know what the book says, what the rules are, that's that person we're going to go to. If they don't know it, they are wonderful at fact-finding. They love to do investigation. They're very precise in their approach. They have very high standards, and they're very systematic in the way that they do things. So the C brings a lot to the team with the fact that they love to make sure that things are done correct and done in the proper order.